What's going on, everyone? Happy Wednesday. It's 11 o'clock Eastern, so we go live from here, 42 West 18th Street. This is Adorama, not a green screen. I say that every time in some different order. Congratulations, this is out of order. So you guys know you're always welcome here, whether it is, I'm sure you're loving this noise, by the way, whether it's in person, these chairs, or in this chat. I got Jillian with me today. We're going to talk about who she is because later on today, you could be in that chat for a live demo. She's not just talking, she's shooting, bro.
You could even be in the chair.
You could be in a chair. You could be. But first, we got to do. We got to do a little bit of house keeping. We got to say what's up to our friends that sponsored this. Boom, Sigma. You guys know Sigma. This is, people think of it as a third-party lens brand. No, it is a premium optics brand. I mean, we're talking about some really amazing lenses, the 300 to 600 f4, the 200 millimeter f2, the 35 1.2. We're talking about the Sigma BF camera that came out. We're talking about the contemporary line. We're talking about the art series that's a legendary at this point. So if you are looking for any glass that you think that your brand that you're shooting with camera-wise doesn't put out there, go check out the link down below for the full line from Sigma. You'll probably find a whole bunch of different mounts. L, E, you got some RF in there. There's definitely some Fujifilm X mount in there. There's even a couple of Z mount. I'm just saying, Elemental P mounts galore. You go check it out, all right? I want to say thank you to them. I also want to give a quick thank you to Tenba because they heard we do this and they said, we want to support this. Well, why don't they make a custom coffee creators bag for our guests? Yeah, check that out.
This is so cool. Thank you.
I don't even have
Dang, that's fancy.
Yeah, right. It's metal. Yeah, it's like it's a nice bag. I mean, Tenba does not play around. Tenba has been around since 1977. It was started right here in New York by a photographer. And if you've been in this game long enough, you probably had a Sigma something somewhere along the line. I always say this every time. I love their tech pouches. They're like this big. They fit in every bag, and they're clear windows on both sides. I never wonder what's in there or try to find something. Go, and I'm working faster. I love it. Thank you, Tenba, so much. And last, we want to say a quick thank you to Gotham Roasters over on 19th Street. They are a proud supporter of this podcast. If you guys are coming to Adorama for like Jillian's demo later, go there, get some coffee, say Adorama sent you, take one of these chairs. Cheers, kid. What'd you get?
Got a decaf latte because I already had a coffee today.
See these kids decaffing it? Yeah, at least you're joining in. You know what I mean? You go like
matcha.
Matcha isn't so caffeinated though.
Yeah, it's more chill than like coffee, but it's still something.
Matcha is definitely more chill, and it's definitely more of a vibe, I'd say. It's a different, you put you in a different headspace, a little more, I hate to say it like this, it's a bit zen, but you know.
Yeah.
But we love you, Gotham Roasters. Thank you so much. And who is Jillian Lenser? First of all, one of those baller names ever to be a photographer, ever. Basically, you're doing some really, really dynamic commercial and beauty work, working for L'Oreal. I saw Dairy Queen on that list, Logitech, which is cool. So you're pretty much not just in the commercial space, but you're in a commerce space, but you're also putting your spin on it on a creative way. Like it's not just catalog work where it's on white and we're just going through a huge volume. Your stuff is shot on super wide angles, pressed in. You're giving a lot of energy, a lot of colors, a lot of dynamic. Like your models are not sitting still in these images. We'll show you guys some of those shots as we go forward, but did I get that right? Am I getting the right vibe from your work?
Yeah, I think so. I think for a while people would say like, oh, like your style, it's so like, I don't even know what word they use. It was just so like poignant and so you. And I'm like, I don't even know what my style is. But I think some of the stuff I'll be talking about in the demo later too is just kind of how I've created this like light foundation.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
And like the color stuff is honestly new. It's within the last few years, but I think just social content in general really like lends itself to a lot of like bright, vibrant colors. So that's kind of how that happened.
It's got a Chappelle tinge to it. You know, it's got a little bit of that like.
I don't actually know who that is. What is
David LaChapelle?
Who?
David LaChapelle. No. Shot all the celebrities in like high color.
Okay.
Andy Warhol descendant.
Okay, yeah.
No?
Yeah.
But like stuff like this, like it's just like snap, bang, right? Like everything's got motion to it. Everything's like grabbing you. You know, it's coming towards you rather than you kind of leaning into it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I think it's really fun, especially with product, to be able to play with the scale of things. And like all the times people want their product to feel so heroic. So that lower angle and that fisheye really lend itself nicely to.
I mean, even on your website, like you just see like this lean in feel, you know?
That was fisheye.
Oh, you can totally tell. Yeah.
But definitely like the more chill fisheye like I was talking about.
But everything is just, there's an aesthetic. And even no matter how different it is, if you look enough of your work, it all has a common tone of the aesthetic. It's just completely wildly different subject matter.
Yeah.
And I think that's a strong indication of someone that absolutely sees it, that absolutely has a vision, that absolutely sticks to who they are and what they like to see out of their subject.
Yeah. I think it's interesting too, because like obviously this is the work I'm presenting and I'm showing you, but there's so much like pharma work too, and like just different medical supply stuff that's on the side that helps just create a living with this type of job. But yeah, I think it's a style that's been really fun, and I love getting more jobs like this because the crews and the days are innately playful, you know?
Do you have a set crew you work with all the time? You have your go-to people, or are you constantly trading, like changing through personnel? Like, what are your sets like?
Kind of both. I think a lot of the different assistants I'll use are people I've like mentored in the past, so I already know them pretty well, and I know which ones have better personalities for certain shoots. Like tomorrow we're doing like this big cheese shoot, but next week it's like kids for like 3 days. So
Big cheese.
it's gonna be cheese just all day, which I'm excited for. It's gonna be sick, but you kind of need different people for like a food shoot versus like a bunch of kids and
Oh yeah,
for 3
food
days.
stylist, a lot of consideration.
Yeah.
We, my studio, we have a really well-known food photographer in there, and it is wild what they have to go through to get the shot of the cheese.
It's insane.
Insane. And people don't realize how real it actually is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think when the first ever like food shoot I was on, it was broadcast for Arby's. I was just a PA. But I went up to the food stylist and I was like, okay, so what are your like tricks? Like, what do? Are you putting gasoline on the turkey, whatever? And she looked at me like I was an idiot. She's like, we don't do that. I was like, oh, okay. Like they just don't these days, whether it's because of legal reasons or just like all of the cases against the different like fast food companies where they're like, your food doesn't look like that.
Right, right.
So they're just like artists of their own craft with the actual ingredients or whatever, and they just make it look good.
It's funny because in like Japan, it's like an art form to make fake food. Like it's like this highly regarded.
Like out front of all the
yeah. I watched a guy make lettuce once and it blew my mind.
What?
They literally drip it, and while it's dripping, it grabs it under the water and keeps on shaking it to make the ruffles, and it just mixes perfectly.
Wait, what is it? What are they dripping?
I'm guessing it's a resin of some
Okay.
type
Yeah,
that cools as soon as it gets into the water. But the way he grabs it, he mixes the darker green with the white, and then keeps on making
That's sick.
the tone, and then shakes it like this, and it just came out like it gave birth to lettuce. And I was like, how? What? Like it was just very cool. Like just the act of it alone was worth watching, you know. But here.
Yeah.
It's like that Big Mac is actually a Big Mac. It's just probably the best made Big Mac you've ever seen in your life by an actual chef putting it together.
Or they'll like have like 50 pallets worth of buns to pick the perfect one. And then even then they're like Frankensteining the seeds onto the top of the bun. Like it's like real, but it's also still not.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Like you're not just going to grab that one out of the pack.
call it like the headshot of food because like it's the best possible version of that food, but it is that food.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It just didn't just wake up though.
No,
it
no, it
got
didn't.
some makeup done, you know.
She woke up like this.
It's how long does it take you to get ready from start to finish for something like a cheese shoot? Do you have to go through a mood board? Are you pitching to these companies? Where does it start? How does it gestate?
So this one's working with a branding studio that I work with a lot. And so we already have like the production team on it, and they're the ones doing all of the pre-pro. So I've been in a few like calls with them, just meetings about like things I need on my end. But we have like prop stylist, we have a food stylist, we have a lot of team on this one that's been kind of doing that work behind the scenes so that when I show up in the morning, we're all ready to go.
Yeah.
know?
So is there like something you look forward to genre-wise more than like kids? That's a huge variable of kinetic energy all over the set. Cheese, it's going to sit there and you're going to work around it. Is there like one that you feel you vibe with more or like you're more looking forward to engaging with?
Yeah. I think something that's been surprising to me, like just throughout my career with photography, which is the only career I've ever known, but
Oh, I know.
I know. Corporate could never. But I've always kind of photographed both, like still life and models, which is not common in commercial photography. A lot of people only kind of shoot one of the two. So a lot of clients will kind of be surprised to hear that I do both. But I think for myself, I like the variety because if I just did one all the time, I get burnt out.
Oh, yeah.
Like still life would be boring. And for models, it kind of be like too much. So I like having the balance.
I also think like you're fooling yourself if one doesn't cross over to the other. When you have like a watch ad, there's a human in there probably, you know, working with stuff. When I started shooting special effects, it took me a while to realize I'm not just shooting the makeup. I'm shooting a portrait of a character that doesn't exist, but also it's not skin, so it is product.
Yeah.
So what I learned from my e-commerce life went right into that as well. Like this is paint, not skin tone.
Yep.
This is silicone, not skin. This is a wig, not hair. Like it all goes into it. I think just you got to be kidding yourself to think that sticking into a pigeonhole in these era, especially when they want multiple media, right? So you're doing vertical video, horizontal video, plus stills. You've got to be like a Swiss Army knife to some degree. I think, don't you think that that's a little old hat, the feeling of like the niche thing?
Yeah. I think here in New York, it makes more sense because there's every type of photographer here. So they're like, oh, you haven't shot a red shoe on a blue background with this lighting. We're not going to hire you. We're going to find someone that did. So they can do that here.
Yeah.
So I think niching down in New York makes a little bit more sense, but I do think it's old school. And like I'm from Minnesota and there everyone shoots everything. So when I go back home and work and I tell them about like the niching down here, they're so shocked to hear it. So I think that's something that we'll see kind of a reckoning with in the next few years, especially now.
Yeah.
But I also just for myself, like I don't want to niche down because I want the variety. Just for like the longevity of a career in this. I don't want to have to do the same thing every single day.
Dude,
that's why we do this.
Yes.
You know?
And the idea that I'm pointing a lens and you're going to tell me I'm always pointing at the same thing.
Yeah.
What are you, crazy?
Crazy.
And don't you think that something lends to the other thing when you cleanse the palette a little bit? But I feel like the idea of niche came through like you need the best to do the best to be the best at the thing.
Yeah.
What I think happened or like our generation the media became faster. So you didn't have time to find the niche person to do the niche thing.
Yeah.
Hey, you're on set already. You mind shooting this? Hey, you got a purple thing that can do this with that?
Yeah.
It's kind of like voiceover artists. Like, oh, you're the voice of this person. Could you also do a little kid voice and a dog? And then you get that job, right?
Yeah. But at first, I do think clients here, they want to see the one thing. They want to get like hit over the head with the one type of work that they're looking for. But then once you know them and you've established that relationship, then they're like, oh, can you do this too? Which is nice.
Because they're hiring you first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then the work has to stand for itself. I think one of the best things photographers can do is create their own spec work as much as possible. So if you do want to shoot shoes, but you're shooting cakes, go shoot shoes and show what you can actually produce for people, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
How do you toe the line of putting so much variable work out there, but still getting hired for Jillian herself? Because there's a lot of people that might shoot like cars and also something that's totally out of left field, like wildlife. And then they put them on the same page and it looks like a variety page rather than that one person. How do you toe that line as far as putting the work out there that's so variable?
I mean, I think it's been honestly years of just like tweaking things. Like it's been a lot of trial and error. And so you change up your website, you change up the images on it, you change how you do SEO or now AEO. And
AEO.
Oh, what is it? It's basically like, it's not GEO, like generative engine optimization, but now it's AEO. What's
AEO, like AI engine operation?
Basically, yeah.
This is the first time I've heard of this.
No, it's crazy. But also like, it's now like scraping your website in a really different way that you have to adapt for. And it's really interesting. It's a rabbit hole on its own. I don't know too much about it, so I'm not going to get into it, but it's fun. But yeah, I think it's been trial and error of like even your about page, the way that you talk about yourself, the way you present yourself, the way you don't present yourself. Like those all kind of attract a certain type of person. And I think for myself, I just really want to work with like kind, creative, fun people. So I've now gotten my portfolio to be fun and creative, and it attracts those kind of similar jobs. And then when I take calls with clients, like I'm never going to be super salesy. Like that's just not me. It feels gross. So I will genuinely talk with them about their product and their project and be like, okay, what can I help you with? And can I? If I can't, I'll recommend someone that can. Because if I'm going to do a disservice to the job, I don't want to do that job.
So does creative fall on you a lot? Because when I did a heavy commercial stuff, it was like, execute this.
Yeah.
That's what I had. I mean, I very rarely got, I might push it over a line, push something, judge something, whatever, but the bones of it, that was not mine.
There's a little bit of both. I would say right now it's probably 60, 70% agency work where they're coming to me with the creative already. But even then, they do want some level of input. Sometimes the L'Oreal stuff, no, because there's so many cooks in that kitchen. There's not time really for.
It's massive.
Yeah, and it's like an established brand and look.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot of room to change stuff. But we did like a new product line for them, and so that one we had a lot more flexibility with, which is fun.
Yeah, I think you got like these small sub brands that are like more open to like, well, what would you do with this? And then it gets a little kind of fun with it.
Yeah.
I also try to tell people, and not like, this sounds horrible, but I was like, it's kind of disposable. Look, at some point, this product doesn't exist anymore. This vibe, this trend doesn't exist anymore. Like, go for it.
Yeah.
If you think it looks cool, put it out there, see what happens. You know what I mean? I think that we're seeing a lot of, especially with social, you're seeing these micro brands doing very cool, innovative things because they have no fear of disrupting the brand they've established. You've built your brand. You're at a point where I think is like the best part of being a creative professional. You've established what you can do, how you do it. And now it's like, I don't have to prove it. Like you're looking at it. Now, what do you want from me?
Yeah.
You get to enjoy that. You know?
It's more of a conversation. It's less like you trying to prove yourself.
Totally. Tony's got a question in the chat. And by the way, guys, this is why we're live. If you guys have any questions, please. Tony's asking, Jillian, do you have any personal photo projects you're looking to do outside your commercial work? I guarantee you do.
Okay. Okay, hold on. Just bear with me. This is going to get weird for a second. Can you go to my website?
Yeah.
Okay, go to the personal page.
Weird. All right, let's go to your page.
Or I think it's personal. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so that middle image.
This?
Yeah. Okay.
Little Cindy Sherman-y.
Listen, what?
Little Cindy Sherman-y.
Okay, this is something I should have told you earlier. I don't know any photographers.
I used to be like that. I used to be a lot like that. And then I was like, I keep on gravitating into things that people are telling me it looks like this. I better figure out what's out there.
Yeah.
And kind of learn. But go ahead, keep going.
Okay, so this is me getting not fed up, but like getting burnt out with commercial work, doing a lot of work for other people.
Is that mold? Am I looking at mold?
Listen. So
you said feta, and I was like, wait a minute.
No, it's not feta. Don't worry. Okay, so
I can't have moldy feta.
I would never do that to you. So I started making bioplastics at home because on the side I go to a lot of like science talks. I'm just really into, I guess, this now. So bioplastics at home, it just means like a binding polymer of some sort. So I've been using like cornstarch, or this was like glycerin, beef glycerin, and then, or gelatin and glycerin, beef gelatin and glycerin, and like white vinegar and distilled water. You heat it up for a while, and then you like pour it out into a mold, and then it turns into like plastic. It's water soluble. Then I had like a silicone mold that I was like, okay, let's make like a chunky one. Let's see what happens. So I made like a thicker one. I did 2 of them because I had 2 molds, and I folded them together. I put them on a shelf, forgot about them for a little bit. And I was like, oh, like I should go back and like just do something. I'm just making some weird sculpture. I'm just messing around at home because it's fun, and I'm trying to get personal projects going again. And I opened it up and I saw this, immediately terrified. Was like, I'm going to die. I texted my boyfriend and I was like, if I am not around tomorrow, you know what? Yeah, literally. I was like, I'm patient 0. That's basically slime mold, which is how The Last of Us started. So
boy.
I went on this rabbit hole, panic attack, while also photographing this because like, this is stunning. It was this is obviously saturated a bit too much, but it was rainbow mold. And I was like, this is insane. So I photographed that and I was like, this is so fun. So this is my new personal project, is bioplastics, but I don't know if we're going to go down the mold route or not because I need a space for that. I don't think I can keep doing that in my apartment.
Yeah, a little dicey. We don't need an outbreak of some kind for sure.
I know.
I feel you. So a long time ago when I had a dark room where I lived, all my chemicals dried up and it crystallized and made all these spider patterns.
Whoa.
And I was like, I'm going to shoot all of this. So I shot 4x5 macro of all this stuff. So I there's something about it with photographers, especially I think vectory. I call us vectory based, like commercial people are vectory based because we're very about like what's in the frame and the shapes and the geometrics.
Okay.
There's something about when we see something like this that makes us go, well, how can we compose it? Because there's so much chaos.
Yeah.
We try to see what works in the frame. How can we crop out the rest of it and make it make sense? I think there's something like in our blood about it.
Interesting. Yeah, I guess I haven't really thought about it in that way. I think for me, I'm just, when I photograph, what?
Homemade blue cheese, they're saying.
Listen, don't give me ideas right now. But I think for myself, the things I look at when I'm photographing are light and color. So this was like a heyday. Like this was the best day of my life. But that's also normal bioplastic. That's not moldy.
It's really beautiful.
Thanks. It's a really low quality image, but we're going to keep going with it. There's also another one hiding. You can drag these around, by the way.
Oh, it's playful.
Yeah, it's fun.
Oh.
But yeah, like it was just so interesting and fun.
It's very candy-like. You know what I mean? So it looks like Pixie Sticks.
Yeah.
You know, I get it. I get it.
Where do you have the work of like the crystallized stuff up?
So all they are 4x5 E6. So they're slides.
Okay.
Yeah, they're actually they're so old. They're in envelopes for 4x5 negatives from a photo shop store that no longer exists. That's how old those are. They need to see the light. I know exactly where they are, and they probably haven't seen light in probably 15 years or so. Man, this show, man, you guys always make me feel bad about not doing enough stuff. Then I'm like, I did all this stuff. I should go back to it. I'm like, I'm tired. I don't know.
No, that's how it goes.
That said, hustling as a professional photographer is so energy straining. How do you find the energy to not be burnt out to then go shoot something you want to go shoot? You know what I mean? Like, are you making time for this, or this is when it hits you, you go for it? You don't mind if it's on the back shelf for a while?
Yeah. I mean, I think this is the first personal project I've done in years. So that shows you how much time I've had. But it is hard to want to keep shooting for yourself after you've been working all day, and like New York's exhausting. You kind of just want to leave sometimes. Like, it's such a balance, and it's hard. And I don't think I have that balance right now, honestly.
Yeah.
I think other people are great at it. Couldn't be me. Trying to be me. We'll see.
I'm with you. I'm the same way. I'm
hard.
I'm constantly pushing through burnout. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I talk about cameras every day, guys.
Yeah, that's actually crazy.
It's crazy.
That's
It's a little crazy, but it's also, I'm not in a cubicle crunching numbers. I'm
Yeah.
not doing the manual labor I used to do between gigs, killing myself.
Yeah.
You know, so there's a grateful to it, but to want to shoot something that you don't actually technically get something back from, like you're not paying your rent, you're not publishing it. Like, it's very hard to find that last reason of, I just want to.
Yeah.
So you got to give yourself some credit for being like, yeah, it's mold, but it gets me psyched to go do some stuff, man.
I think that's been like these moments of inspiration I have, like at these like science talks. Like Pioneer Works is down in Brooklyn, and that's like one of the best places to go, where I just feel so like inspired by the community that goes to the events. They do a lot of like science talks. One was about like aliens, but it was really like a mirror at how we view life. Like, it was crazy. But super cool. It's a really interesting space. They blend like the intersection of art and technology and science. Everyone keeps saying that these days, but
It's like Mythbusters.
I love Mythbusters.
Who doesn't love Mythbusters? Who doesn't love Mythbusters?
Sorry.
You watch Adam Savage's channel, his solo channel?
I used to for a little bit, and then I stopped because I got sad because they weren't like.
It's so interesting. Like, he just
He's
takes on
good.
any question, and he doesn't care what pace he's at. He doesn't care how long the video is. It's just take it or leave it.
Yeah.
I totally dig that.
I'm also jealous of his workshop, but it's fine.
Yeah, well, first of all, it's like decades of Hollywood.
Yeah.
I mean, what that guy has produced, man. And also Weta Studios, he just goes in there like whenever he wants to just tour whatever they're doing, and they're making like the most amazing cutting edge thing ever.
Yeah, that's sick.
Julian's actually asking, how do you decide what project calls for in the spectrum of soft and vibrant tones?
Dude, I don't know. A spectrum of soft and vibrant tones.
If this is the
I mean, it
hardest
depends on
question you can- yeah, right.
It depends on the client. I think they come to me with like a mood board.
I mean,
And we just
you're not
see what
going to
happens.
Dairy Queen and going, we know we need nitrous oxide looking colors everywhere and everything. Like, you're
Yeah. Even actually the Dairy Queen stuff, I kind of had a little bit of a say in like, we should go a little bit punchier. You want a little fisheye? You want to see your little fisheye? And they were like, whoa, mind blown.
were you shooting blizzards? What were you shooting?
Yeah, blizzards, and it was for their like Snowdrift blizzard that came out, and they came out with a mint chip dip. They've been going crazy with the dips lately. I was at Dairy Queen literally like 2 days ago, and they had like a cinnamon toast crunch one. I didn't shoot that, but it was crazy.
Diabetes in a cup.
Yeah, it's true.
There was a Dairy Queen on 14th Street, went out of business. I was like, I've never seen one go out of business.
There's also no Dairy Queen in New York.
No, that was it. But I think
Sad.
it was a weird format. You have to like order, then you sit down, they go to your table. I'm like, this is a Dairy Queen.
That's not Dairy Queen.
That's
That's a Pizza Hut.
Is that Pizza Hut?
No, it's not a Pizza Hut either. I'm sorry. Wait, yeah, we order and then go sit down? Or are you
they
saying
give you
they
a
come to
number?
you?
I hate that.
I don't know.
I hate that format where you go to a restaurant, you order something, they give you like a giant thing with a number at the top, and you have to go sit down at your table, and they look for your number to bring your stuff. I
Yeah,
think that's
there's
the most
got to be a
annoying
better
format.
way. There's got to
Awful.
be a better way.
Awful.
Okay, so your video game. So Zelda.
Oh yeah, I'm replaying Tears of the Kingdom right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been on Breath of the Wild. There's the like shrine locator where it starts beeping when you get
Yeah.
closer to it. That's what Dairy Queen needs, or Pizza Hut, whoever. They all need it.
Do we really need people to find? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, once you're in there, I was like, do we need people to find more dairy, like more of this type of food to go hunt it down? I feel like,
Maybe.
you think so? I think they need trucks. I would like to see a mobile version of everything that's out there.
Why?
Why not? Let it come to me. What if I'm at the Brooklyn Promenade and I say, hey,
But don't you still have to go to the truck?
yeah, but the truck is basically there instead of me having to go to Midtown Manhattan to find it.
Okay, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I'd
I
rather
think
not be here.
anything truck format would be great.
That's fair.
Tony's asking, what do you have? What's your favorite lens to use?
Ooh,
And I'm like,
okay.
get off this gamer talk.
Sorry. Okay, Sigma plug. The 12 to 24 is the art series fisheye of the Sigma. Oh my god. The Sigma art series have always been my favorite lenses, so much that I always kept tagging them and eventually slid into their DMs, and that's why Sigma and I work together now, which is great. So they're, the 12-24. Sorry.
It's like modern dating format. Like, let me slide in your DM.
It did, and it worked. Their 12-24 is really fun. It's super crispy, even for a fisheye, because I feel like you lose a lot of like the sharpness in a lens, especially if it's zoom for one, but also fisheye. But theirs stays pretty good.
Sigma has something about their optics that have a contrast to them, so they just kind of make you feel like they're crazy crispy sometimes, even if like they're not totally sharp or whatever, like not totally focused or whatever.
Yeah.
But the thing with the art series, I don't know if you guys know this, but they actually have the largest projected circle on the sensor. So the edge that would normally be out of focus because of the edge is past the sensor in most cases with the way they build their lenses.
There you have it.
So the art series is dope, man.
No, they're sick. They're so sharp, and I just love them.
I think that 105 art series became like a legend. Like
Really?
Yeah, I think everybody was, when mirrorless came around, Sigma really got this stride, and they reformatted the brand and everything. We actually went to Tokyo for the BF launch, and just seeing how they build lenses.
Yeah.
It's all these hands.
No, it's crazy.
It's people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's people. It's like Soylent Green. It's people. No, but it really is. They're crafting it. And I don't think people get that. I think when they look at a brand, they don't see like Sony, Canon, Nikon. They go like, oh, well, it's got to be less than. Like, no.
Yeah.
It's in Carl Zeiss doesn't make isn't a camera, but they make premium optics. I just think it's interesting, the philosophy of just the idea of a brand. Did you go to the pop-up store, the one they had it downtown?
I didn't. I was supposed to do a workshop at it, but then I had a L'Oreal campaign take up the whole week, so I couldn't, which is like a good problem to have, but it was sad.
I think that's when we tried to book you initially.
Yeah.
And so this has been on the channel for probably like a month and a half. You guys probably saw this stuff all around. But I'm really excited because tonight you are shooting live. This is not just a talk, guys. She's going for it. She gave me a list of gear. She was like, I'm going to do everything under the sun.
We got a purple background. It's going to be crazy.
What are you actually getting into tonight? What's the shot? Beauty?
So yeah, it'll be like close-up beauty headshots with the fisheye mainly. Also like starting with a pretty standard, like don't overthink it kind of beauty setup, and then going a little bit more funky and like showing how I add a little bit of like tweaks here and there, even just with like Capture One edits to like really bump the contrast.
Capture One.
All that good stuff.
Love Capture One.
Yeah. So we'll kind of get into it. The fisheye will be out and about, star of the night.
Do you think people overthink beauty too much? Is that kind of...
I think people overthink studio photography too much. I know I did when I started. Maybe this is me projecting on all of you for the demo night, but Sigma lenses are people. True. So I know when I started getting into just like studio lighting, first of all, it's really inaccessible if you can't afford it. And you have to then figure out a way to get your hands on it for a long period of time to be able to test with it, get used to it, like get to know your own style, all of it. So I started helping out at like a friend's studio where I would... like wasn't getting paid to be there, but it was like an hourly rental space. So I would be there to like supervise the bookings, and I could just use the gear in the studio for free. I was like young, early 20s. And awesome. It was sick. And I had like a proper like 2 years of like just dealing with lighting and gear and just being really overwhelmed because there's so many like gearheads who don't want to make it simple. So it's kind of like going back to the basics and like sitting with the lighting you have and like just doing small tweaks and being like, oh, what happens if you do this? Or if you just turn it a little bit, like, what does that look like? And I think all of that time in the studio just felt like fun, but it's built my foundation now where when we're on set, people will be shocked. They'll be like, how do you just know? And it came from that. Yeah.
It's a feel. I always tell people it's a feel as much as it's science.
Yeah.
But you have to also understand what's happening. So I think the biggest mistake I think people make with lighting is what I call quicksand. They start making too many changes at once.
Yeah.
And they don't realize what happened with the one change.
Yeah.
And things are fighting each other now.
Or thinking they need automatically 10 lights. And you can start with 2.
Yeah.
Or even 1.
Or make the change, then really look at the image. What really changed? Not the shadow went this way.
Yeah.
What actually changed?
Yeah. And what do you want to happen?
And what do you want to have happen? Right. Take the guessing out because lighting's predictable. Yeah. It's a science. It's physics. It'll always be what it's going to be if you understand it, right? I do think it's gotten more accessible, though. I will challenge you there. I think you can... for like $100 you can get a strobe and a modifier and a stand now. Like there's a lot of brands that are making it really easy for people to get into it. The problem is I think they're learning early wrong. Yeah. I think they're taking gospel from channels that aren't vetted and then you go to set, then they're in a studio and you're watching really bad habits that sometimes turn unsafe.
Yeah.
So one of my most popular videos is a C-stand video. I never thought it would be the most popular video, but no one worked with a C-stand. But
Yeah.
you've been around C-stands forever. You think,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
this is boring. What are we doing?
You don't know until you know.
You don't know until you know. And because you're not assisting like we did, they just bought a stand and they started going. So no one showed them, actually, that's going to fall.
Yeah.
Or this is more optimal. Or if you're trying to get this kind of light, this might work. So I think it's not as inaccessible. What I think the people get into as a trap is they point a light, get into TTL, and they go, okay, but now what?
Done. Yeah.
Now what? And I think that's what your demo is going to really be about is like, now what? What's the small tweaks that make big impact?
Yeah, that's
Am
fair.
I feeling,
Yep.
feeling that?
That'll be good. You said it better than I did.
Tony's asking, Jillian, do you have any photographers you admire for their work and legacy? She just said she doesn't know any
Are
photographers.
you listening? I'm just kidding. One.
She said, hey, you're a photographer too. That's what she said when she showed up today. I want you to know that.
I did know. I did know.
It's okay.
There is. Oh no! Now I of course can't think of it. Yes, I can. Come on, we can do this. We can do this.
You know Avedon?
Honestly, no. I know his name, and I know a lot of people that have assisted him, but I don't.
The best. Richard Avedon is one of.
What makes him so good?
Look at his portraiture. I can remember every portrait I've seen that guy shoot. It just sticks with me. Like everything about
Like, why?
the light is heavy. It doesn't do any of the heavy lifting. It's really pulls out from people.
Yeah.
It's really interesting the way it works. And then when you hear his story, there's a famous photo of him in a hospital bed holding a cable release because he just didn't want to stop.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go rabbit hole on this
Yeah.
later. The one I was thinking of, Irving Penn.
Oh,
his
yeah.
Corner series, stunning. And I also don't remember the name of it, but it was I think a black woman that photographed her family at the dinner table. Or whatever that series was. Also beautiful. I think it like really mimics how I kind of just like approach my own work, where it's like, see what happens. Like add some constraints and see what happens. Same with the bioplastics. Do it a little bit and then let it do the rest of the work.
Yeah, but I think you pull your creative from things that aren't photography. Like that's
Yeah.
how I am.
Yeah. What do you pull from?
Honestly, in my early days of shooting special effects, I was so nervous about the jobs. I would watch a ton of horror movies right before I was going to sleep to be sleepy and get it stuck in my head. And I wake up and that's the lighting that would get kind of stuck in my
Wait,
brain.
smart.
You know, so
So like films for you then?
yeah, I played a lot of Aronofsky and Scorsese films in the background while I was doing other things, and it sticks, you know. But also, I would always look at gaming and go, "That's not what light does. That's
Yeah.
not what that looks like."
Yeah,
It
yeah,
drives me crazy.
No, for sure.
Modern games have these kids don't know how good they got it. Like with these light engines and Unreal
Yeah.
5 and everything. I'm like, do you kids have any idea what a rim light used to look like? Do you have any idea when a character stepped into a shadow, the light didn't change on the character?
What's your favorite example of one that's like an old game that doesn't hold up?
Oh my gosh. Probably GTAs. I think they did really bad lighting in the beginning.
Yeah.
That really drove me nuts.
That's fair.
But I think the Polygon era, there was no lighting. But, you
Yeah.
know, when you look at something like Resident Evil now,
Yeah.
wow.
Yep.
You know, there's been, or Until Dawn, there's just so many. I
Like,
look
even
at,
like the remastered BioShock was playing that. I got a studio, like the Apple Studio Display thing.
oh man,
So good on
I
that.
love BioShock so much.
No, it was really good.
Did you like BioShock Infinite?
I did, because it was kind of a nice chill after like all the Rapture situation. You didn't like it.
Didn't feel like BioShock to me.
It didn't. It definitely
It
wasn't
didn't
like the
have a
first
survival
one.
aspect. That's the problem.
Fair.
I kept on like, oh, I'm out of bullets. Let me go to this vending machine.
Yeah.
I was like, come on,
You
dude.
stay good. You stay good.
I think when I first played BioShock, the concept behind that a guy built a city underground, what could go wrong? And then
Yeah.
you're showing up and everything's wrong.
Yeah.
And it says like Happy New Year 1939 or whatever it was. And I was like, everything's Art Deco and the first person you meet is a woman that wanted to be famous. So she went to the plastic surgeon there and he just hacked her to hell. Mm-hmm. What? Like I'm in.
You're
I'm
so
in. It was, and then you kept on uncovering everybody else's story that fell apart and how they made these different factions and how like religion was seen as like a contraband. And I'm like, I could not.
Yeah.
You find the parents on the bed that ate a bunch of pills because they gave their daughter away to the Big Daddy Project, and I was like, this is so amazing. But at
That's
that
crazy.
time, nobody was touching stuff like that.
No, but like the remastered, I mean, even the original was still good, but the remastered was just like eye-catching. The lighting in it was so beautiful.
beautiful.
Like to that point. So you
Beautiful.
could watch that one before you go to sleep.
Oh,
or
it's.
something.
I mean, I sometimes I watch playthroughs because I just don't have it in me to play the game. I'm just like,
Yeah.
You know, it's definitely a weird era where you watch someone play the game instead of playing it yourself. I feel like I'm
Yeah.
just so lazy.
That's fair.
Tomb Raider was crazy. Do you know what's crazy about Tomb Raider is how many renditions there were?
There were a lot of them.
Yeah, well,
I think I played like one of them.
the newest one is like a totally different looking woman and
Oh,
a
okay.
whole different thing. But side note, Seth Avedon documentary is coming out by Ron Howard. I did see that.
Cool.
But it's on Hulu, I think. I don't think what is that on? It's not on Netflix, is it? Either way, Avedon is one of the most, if you have one of the most impactful portraits of someone like Marilyn Monroe of all time, you've done something. And his portrait is the one I think of first before any of the glamour shots or any of the other stuff. And she's got to be one of those iconic faces to ever be put out there in the world, I think.
Interesting.
Scotto has Tin Out Studios website, shoots bright, intense color commercial work. He's in Leicester, England. Okay.
Cool.
Where do you think things are going now? Because I think obviously we always bring this up, especially now because we're going to get shoved down our throats.
Yeah.
AI, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of what you do, what's to stop someone from scanning their product and then AIing some kind of creative for it? Do you worry about that? Do you find that brands don't even want to go that route? They want to be like, no, this is more of a project. Because I've actually find some brands want to document a project happening about their brand.
Yeah.
So when I shoot for them, they're filming while we're doing that. And that
Yeah,
becomes something of its own.
Yeah.
Do you find, where do you think AI is landing for you?
I think it reminds me of a lot of the jobs I took when I first got into commercial work, which were the startup brands or like the individual people that are starting a brand that don't have the budget. And now all of those jobs are going to go to AI. So I think the like ladder of like the rungs of success to become a commercial photographer, I think a lot of the kind of beginner intermediate rungs are getting taken out. So I think those clients are using AI because it's more viable for their project. I think people who value photography will keep doing it or keep doing photography because like with the AI generation, it's not a copyrightable image. So
Right.
even,
Yes.
So like that's kind of tricky. It's messy. Like you can't then like if I create fully generated AI images for a client, they don't own those images. No one does. So therefore, they're not getting the work that they're paying for, which then they could sue me for that. So, and it's such this like Wild West right now where it's just not commercially safe.
Right.
I know even like when Adobe comes out and says that it is that true? We don't know. And things are changing so quickly that I just am taking a cautious route and like I'm definitely using like AI tools and like Photoshop and all sorts of stuff. And I did just have like a client who took like white pack shots that we did and made new hero images with them. So that's now a conversation, but I'm approaching it from the stance of you don't know what you just did because he didn't. And now we're going to talk forward about new contracts, new languages. And okay, if you want AI to be a part of this, now we need a license for that, which is basically just a full buyout.
Wow, is that wild?
But it's the conversation you have to have because it's not the end of working with this client.
Right.
It's not whatever. Like it's just kind of the new normal.
Do you think there's going to be a time where you get to at least a client level where they like shoot the principle of it and we'll figure it out in AI later? And then there's like a bit of a human authorship to it,
Yeah.
which I think is the next argument is like how much human authorship versus AI to create copyright.
Yeah.
Which I think is like the biggest discussion right now because we all know they're not going to make AI copyrightable, right?
Yeah.
But I could see a world where they're just like put it in this white cube, shoot all sides of it. You got paid, but the final product is going to become something wildly different.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's been a lot of my work just in general over the last few years, but with like Photoshop, it's like we shoot it in a way where we know how we're going to like distort it and manipulate it to all ends in Photoshop because that's just kind of the style I have. It's very polished. It's very like unrealistic sometimes. Like if you go into the Fluid project, there's some images that are just like crazy distorted where we shot like a bunch of like little pieces of like blocks and springs and whatever, but then I like made them huge and like wrap around the product.
Right.
So I'm still doing all the retouching and like the post for that, but we already were kind of working that way. So it doesn't feel that different to be doing it this way. The only problem is AI can be really unpredictable. So like one day it'll work really well. The next day you put the same prompt in and it can't produce
today.
it.
That's today, right? What's tomorrow? What's next week?
Exactly.
What's a year from now, you know?
Yeah.
It's funny how we talk about like ethics now.
Yeah.
Because there used to be ethics in photography or like the subject you're shooting and how you're portraying them. Now it's like, well, are they scraping your images to copy them? Like that's what the ethics talk is now.
Yeah.
Capture One is hilarious to me because the way Capture One is ethically training their AI retouching is they're making all their staff wear wigs and shooting like thousands of images to get trained on flyaways
That's so
instead of
good.
using images that are out there.
I appreciate that.
I want to see what that looks like. I've got to watch this in real time. Raphael, if we got video of that, I got to see it. I mean, for me, I use everything Capture One. I haven't been in Adobe space in a long time. I feel like I get everything I need out of Capture One because I'm not manipulating.
Yeah, exactly.
But I will say the AI tools that it does have absolutely helped me efficiently. Being able to like cull really quick.
Yeah.
And something like subject masking. So now, and I hate saying this and it kills my soul, but I used to be a real psychotic mess about getting my white background perfect.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, I have half the time they gave me last time.
Yeah.
It's close enough now. Subject, and I worry about background masking, and I'm figuring out later.
Yeah.
White
How
background's
good do
not
you
that
feel like
critical.
it is right now?
How good do I feel the masking is?
Yeah, because I feel like it's kind of been hit or miss.
For what I shoot, it's really weird.
Yeah.
It sometimes doesn't know what to face.
Yeah.
You know, when I do normal, what's normal? When I'm not shooting a zombie creature alien or whatever.
What?
Yeah, I know. It's funny what it detects. So what I found is I shoot a lot of close-up half faces.
Okay.
It has a real hard time deciding that that's a face.
Really?
Yeah, because
it like relies on the two eyes. Yeah.
The first thing about facial recognition people don't get is it looks for the spacing of eyes to a structure this way, like a T.
Whoa.
And so if it doesn't see that, it has an issue. Then it starts looking at things like skin tone. So when I shoot something like a blue alien, it's like, I think there's an eye there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's an eye.
Interesting.
Yeah. Interesting, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
How many blue people are there? You know what I mean?
A couple.
It's looking for like warm tones. I have better luck with like yellowish skins, orangey skins, but blues, purples, body paint. The beginning of eye detection in cameras could not deal with eye makeup.
Really?
Smoky eyes drove it up a wall.
Interesting.
Yeah. Gen 1 eye detection. Everyone was feeding it to you like it was the next amazing magic. I'm like, it's not working for me.
Yeah.
It's like, you ever deal with a specular highlight on like the glowy makeup when that was like a big trend, the glowy like.
Yeah.
So I was getting specular highlights on cheekbones and thought those were eyes. On every camera system, thought those were eyes.
Oh.
But this was Gen 1, Gen 2 eye detection.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't know. It's just what you fed it.
Yeah.
It's a child. We're feeding this child. This is what an eye looks like. So it goes, well, that's an eye. No. But you told me that's an eye. No, that's not an eye. That's an eye. It doesn't know. It's
That's
still
so
a machine.
crazy. No, you're right.
Still a machine.
Wow.
Nelson is saying there's a guy who's suing to get AI image copyrighted, and I fear I might head towards Supreme Court to challenge copyright as a concept. Yeah, I just don't see it happening. In the end, it's not a human being, so who holds a copyright? A machine? Like, I just don't get it.
Yeah, it's not super traceable. I also don't. It's tricky when you look at like a lot of the people who are like on, like just deciding these things for us. They don't have the knowledge, the working knowledge of what we're doing.
They're not creatives creating something.
Yeah,
They're a bunch of people behind a bench going, what's the problem?
Yeah. So that was a lot of my the advice to me about this whole AI client situation was like the language in your contract needs to be so clear that like someone who doesn't know what we do can follow it and be like, oh yeah. But for something that's pretty vague that even we don't even know what's going on sometimes, that can be a hard thing. It's a very like, this is a new like trial and error thing that I'll have to deal with, which is fine.
Do you think AI is affecting like your day rate? Do you feel like it's cheapening the product at all?
No,
No?
not really. I think in a lot of the work I do, like I don't do any video.
Wow, really?
Zero.
Dude,
Never
I
have.
couldn't exist.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like when it started, when like the big trend of like doing both started, I was like, oh, I have to learn this. I should do this. And I tried, I was like, I hate this. So I just never did it.
Yeah, but you could offer it under your brand name and then hire somebody to do the video portion.
Yeah, which like,
So that's
kind of like I brought in video people, never under my name, but like I'll bring in like whoever we need for the project. If it's a DP or just like a quick like BTS social, whatever we
yeah, but
need.
you are providing it as a service. You're just not doing it.
Not really.
No? Wow.
No.
Man, you're killing me.
It's like if they need it, I'll be like, oh, go talk to this person. But I won't be the one to be
Wow.
like, bring it together.
Wild. Okay, cool. Because I feel like I don't know how I would keep going if I didn't know video.
Yeah.
I did a lot for makeup brands, which you did too. And boy, did they come down on me hard that they needed video.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang.
It's already set up. Why do we have to pay twice? Can you do a quick pan? We just need 10 seconds of I could do that.
Well, I think one of my arguments too, like for my work, like the punchiness and like the crispiness you get in the images, you can't really get easily with continuous lighting. You can, but it's expensive.
Yeah, I don't. Man, this is gonna get well because I feel a lot of people. Okay, so in the education photography space, like you go to trade shows, there's a lot of people pushing continuous light, and yes, but like for example, we had Jeremy Saffer here, who's an amazing photographer, great guy, and he shoots with constant light for metal bands, basically.
Cool.
But if you look at how much gear he had to bring for constant light, when if it was strobe, it would have been in like one Pelican case.
Yeah.
But his arguments for why he went with constant held, and we go down that rabbit hole. Like, but the reality is, strobe is so clean, so crisp.
Yeah.
My favorite of all time was when mirrorless was starting out. We were getting all these new photographers coming into shooting because they were all psyched on mirrorless. They were shooting constant light, and then we would start doing these strobe classes, and every kid said the same thing. Oh, it's so sharp. Yeah, because you've actually never seen a non-motion blur.
Yeah.
You've always been shooting at a shutter speed that you thought was sharp.
Yeah.
This is sharp,
This
dude.
is sharp.
And what
We'll
you
show you
do is like close down all as you close down. You're real. I mean, what do you like F11 half the time?
Yeah, usually F9,
Yeah.
F11.
Yeah. And people are like, oh, don't you want the bokeh? I'm like, I don't care about the bokeh. I'm shooting commercial.
Yeah.
They want to see that ear and that nose.
Or we do the opposite where we do the focus stack where
Yes.
everything is crispy. That's the Dairy Queen stuff. Everything's crispy. And we were shooting on like a surface that was like a fabric that had like a really tight weave to it. You could see all of it. And it was so satisfying. And I like showed them before and after. And they were like, it's magic. I'm like, yes, it is.
How many images do you usually want to stack?
I want to say some of them, especially those ones were like 20, 25.
Okay, that's heavy.
Well,
That's
it was
heavy
like
stack.
a weave. If you missed one piece of it, it would mess
And it was
up.
macro, right?
Yeah, it was on like
Yeah.
100 macro.
So if you guys don't know what focus stacking is, some of your cameras actually have it built in. It will actually take multiple images, moving the focus front and back. And then what you do is take those images, put them into a program, and it'll stitch them together so that every part that's in focus becomes one image. So when you guys see those like watch ads, there's no way to get a watch totally in focus in one frame. Like you have to focus stack from front to back. And a lot of macro shots are so shallow. So what she did was literally focus the entire plane. And then 20 is a lot. That's a lot of computer.
Yeah. Well, it was mainly for the fabric that it was on, because normally it's like 13 to 18, I would say. But I think you can tell, especially with like still life tabletop, like I think it kind of just looks cheaper if you don't focus stack. But that's totally my opinion. That's really just my work. But when everything's super, super crispy, it just looks a lot more premium.
Well, also, you're wondering why you're seeing it like this because you're probably used to, if you saw something up close, not looking at it like that. So there's something a little like, huh, and you never seen it like that before.
Yeah.
You know?
It looks like you're seeing like HD for the first time.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. It's like getting a new pair of glasses. Like, wow, what was I looking through before? You know, but focus stacking is something you guys should all, if you're doing any type of tabletop product, macro, you should definitely take a look at that. But also, this is another argument for why I'm so crazy about lens breathing. So if you do focus stacking and your lens breathes as it focuses, it's really hard to stack those images. So it's not just video that you have to worry about with focus breathing, where the edges of your frame change as you focus. So, you know, it's nerd talk. But that's what do you use? What program do you use to stack with?
Helicon.
Oh, you do use Helicon.
School. It's way better. Photoshop does it, but it's not as good.
You know, the guy here, is Joe here? The guy who shoots all the stuff for Flashpoint, the house brand, uses Helicon all day. And I'm always like, man, still going Helicon. It's like, yeah, and it goes right into Capture One.
Yeah.
It goes back and forth, yeah.
I had a Digitech tell me about it, actually. It was how I originally got into
Digitechs
it.
are the best.
Yes.
They have the best. Everything you've been struggling with, they're like, oh.
Yeah. Well, I definitely am coming from like a different perspective where like when I learned in like high school, when I learned photography, I learned Photoshop at the same time. And so I'm much more comfortable on the digital side of things and like on a computer.
Interesting.
So that's just led to some interesting dynamics with the Digitechs that I work with. But again, you have a bunch that are all good for different jobs.
Do you have any requests for film? I feel like that's been popping up for me left a little bit here and there.
I've seen it, which I appreciate that it exists. But my work is so the opposite.
I think you have such a commerce edge to yours, but every now and then they ask for something that'll stand out.
Yeah.
And so they always go to film for some reason. Like I think it's like a magic button. Like, well, we want something that stands out against all this crispy clean. Could you do it on 4x5?
I mean, that's definitely obviously the new trend because now everyone wants to be anti-AI. So they want it to look very humid. They want the shadows to not be super perfect. And they want to be analog.
Yeah.
And so I think you're seeing a lot of it for sure. I've definitely put like film presets on a few like smaller, just like artist portrait stuff I've done recently, and they really appreciate that. But I think on sets, usually there is someone shooting film too.
Yeah.
But it's not they're not like hooked up to the lighting. It's just like BTS style. So
2 years ago, I was doing a job and I had all this stuff rigged out and they used my modeling lights. This kid stepped in out of nowhere and shot in Instax. And that's what they used.
how'd that make you feel?
As long as I got paid. That's the thing about
Yeah,
commercial.
you can't think about it
The
like
thing about
that.
commercials, there's no ego to it. You're just kind of
Exactly.
like, I don't care. I'm doing this. I do not care about this thing I'm shooting so much. I care
Yeah.
about the job,
Yeah.
but like my soul is not in this.
Mm-hmm.
It's I don't know how you feel about it. I kind of feel like it's an honor to be able to still do those jobs sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
there's so many people that hope to get to this level of doing this kind of stuff, and I'm not doing it at a massive level or whatever, but I'm still able to go like, hey, I paid my rent this month with photos, man. I think it's just cool. I just thought it was so funny. This kid came out of nowhere. I was like, were you here all day?
That's crazy.
It
He
was
was waiting for his moment. He's like, come in, let me in, coach.
Well, somebody actually said like one guy that I know, he does the job digitally. It's all clean. And then what they do is sometimes they output it to a film recorder or they output it to like an actual Instax printer and then scan that just to
Yeah.
keep degrading it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's so interesting. We go for this fidelity constantly only to break it apart.
I feel like you see a lot of that here in New York too. Like there's so much like docu style. I think
Yes.
that lends itself really nicely to like analog. And so I think some of the commercial work, I think especially editorial, will blend into that world for a second.
Editorial gives you a nice little window to creativity. You know, people always like, what's the difference between editorial and portrait? I'm like, well, editorial, you're kind of going into their life a little bit. It's a little
Yeah.
bit more, not just who they are, but what they are and what they do. And
Yeah.
so if you're shooting a CEO at their desk, that's more editorial than getting them against a gray background and making them look like a
Exactly.
Time magazine cover.
No, that's
Is
fair.
there like a dream job out there you're still aspiring for? Are you trying to find is there like a white whale client or something, or maybe a series that you want to do? Or
No.
wow,
I think
you're
that's
too content.
listen. I have my own feelings about capitalism, but grateful that it exists, grateful we're here. But I think that's a question like, oh, what's your dream client? It's like, be nice to me. Be someone I want to work with, because that's every day of your life.
That's a great answer.
You know, like
That's a
I don't
great
really
answer.
care what I'm shooting as. Obviously, I want it to be fun. Like that'd be great, but I want to have a day with people I enjoy being around. I want to have a relationship with a client that I enjoy.
Yeah.
That's why I do this. It's the freelance lifestyle. It is a lifestyle career. We're not necessarily in it for the money. I'm not. It's great that it exists. It's great that I found success in this way, but it's more to have the type of day I want to have, which makes me completely unemployable in corporate for the rest of my life, which I'm okay with.
That's a great line. That's a
know?
great. That is such a good answer. It's not even funny. Has there been any jobs that you shot that never made the light of day? That you shot for them, you got paid, you walked off the
Yeah.
set? Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you wished came out that you did that no one?
Yeah,
saw?
I
me
did.
too.
Wait, okay, I'm gonna go first, and then I want to hear yours.
Yeah.
I did a tequila brand with an agency, and they lied to the client about some of the stuff on set that was happening. And long story short, they just weren't listening to what the client wanted, and I knew it, but you can't tell the agency that. So the job got scrapped. The entire shoot got scrapped, and it had nothing to do with me, but it was the creative direction that the client did not want. So that one was a little juicy. And so those images I can't show anywhere, but I really like them. which
Yeah,
sucks.
that's rough.
What's yours?
Oh, maybe later in life when you put out your book of the B side, you know, you put all the stuff that you shot that no one, you're like, I don't care if they sue. Let's do it. One of the ones that I always think about, which I keep on saying, maybe I'll just throw it out there, and if they come at me, they come at me, whatever.
Yeah.
I used to shoot covers for this Buddhist magazine. Not that I'm Buddhist or anything like that, but I
Wait, you're saying booze like alcohol?
Buddhist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very different.
So I used to shoot for a cover for them all the time.
Nice.
I actually started out because I shot with the girl who was the editor there, and then she hired me for that. So I started doing covers every night. Out of
Cool.
nowhere, she run in here right before we were doing a demo. She's like, I need this relic from like 1,000,000 years ago shot right now. Can you do it? Me and Dan would be like, yeah. And then I get a quick check and I get,
And now you're like haunted or something.
we actually live streamed one of them in here. It's really
That's so
old on
cool.
Daniel's channel 1,000,000 years ago. But long story short, they came to me with a bunch of different versions of Buddhist statues, and they said, we just want to have a backlog of really cool photos. And I was like,
Yeah.
all right, cool. One of them was actually a glass head that goes over a lamp that was a Buddhist head.
Cool.
And I was like, what could I do with this? So they just like, whatever you can think to do with it. I was throwing slime at things. My studio was a wreck.
Wait.
Daniel, if you remember this, you remember how wrecked that studio was? So I'm looking at this glass. It is 10 o'clock at night. And I'm like, what could I do with this? And I go, I want to put goldfish in this thing. And so I Google if there's a pet shop that's open now. And there was one shop that was open. I bought a bunch of big goldfish. I filled the head with it, and really quickly I went like this. And I took the board out.
That's crazy.
Yeah, well, what was crazy was I'm an idiot. I should have shot it with constant light. I shot it with strobe. So I'm shooting this glass head full of green. It was greenish tealish hue. And there's these goldfish that are just piercing through this cool tone glass. I'm like, this is so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. The strobe was so crazy. The fish were getting so scared. They were urinating. So the water kept getting cloudier and cloudier. They were getting calmer as I was going, so I didn't feel too bad. They were just like at first, like, what's going on?
Mom.
But I'm like, I have a million frames of the water just getting murkier. I change it, cleaner, more, and it looked so cool. And they never did anything with it. And I shot a 4x5 version of it.
Do you still have that?
I have the digital files, the 4x5 that's sitting in their drawer. I gave them they were slides. They were e-stick.
Whoa, okay.
I just gave it to them.
What did you do with the fish?
So the editor adopted them.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, and she trained them to, when she turns on the light, to go to the corner to be fed. So I was like, all right, they had a good life.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I have some trauma from a goldfish. The studio I used to assist the hourly shoots on. One of the first hourly rental that was there. There's like a bathtub that they would do like a fill service for. It's not like maternity shoots normally. They just dumped a ton of fish in the and like there was like a model in the bathtub with the fish.
Live fish?
And they all just died. And I was like,
wait, what?
What is this? Because it's like they poured them just
into
randomly.
soap water?
No, but just into like water they weren't like ready to be in.
Oh, that's awful.
It was horrible.
Oh,
and I was
horrible.
like, you guys, people just out here doing this.
Oh, that's
scary.
horrible.
So I thought your story was about to go that way. And I was really scared.
No. I even remember like the shots, the fish are looking like, I was like,
wait,
man,
that's so cute.
it was adorable.
My good side.
Yeah. How'd you know that? Rock fan. It was Tricycle magazine. I shot a few covers for them. Yeah. That's interesting. I knew that. Midnight Pet Shop. Yeah. They were trying to sell me these gremlins that I couldn't get wet either.
Wait,
it was
what?
weird. No, I'm just kidding. It's
Oh.
Gremlins. The Midnight Pet Shop.
Well, I had a client of mine lives in Philly, and one of his neighbors apparently found an axolotl on the street.
Whoa.
Like in like a tank just on the street. So I wouldn't put that past New York, honestly.
The stuff you find on the streets.
Listen, Stooping NYC.
Yeah, if you guys don't follow Stooping NYC and in New York, you're crazy. I love how it's like, alert, this is on this street. I'm like, that's got to be gone by now. There's no
for
way.
sure.
Oh my God. There's been some really cool stuff. Someone, every time, I don't know why I don't know why I'm saying every time, because there's been multiple times. There's a coffin on Stooping NYC. I get a million texts. You want this? Go get it. I'm like, I'm not taking a coffin. I don't know what they did with it.
You don't know what happened to that coffin?
Yeah.
You don't want to know.
I do kind of want a theatrical coffin, like the actual like casket style with the removable lid.
Yeah.
I kind of want one.
I'm surprised you don't have one already.
Don't talk me into it. I'm gonna
listen. If there's anyone selling coffins out there,
I've always
this guy's in the market.
Yeah, but how much space do you have in New York after a while?
You can go vertical. You got vertical space in New York.
Well, I'll tell you what I would do with it. I'd probably put custom foam in it and make it into one of my cases, so that when I go home, I pack my gear in it.
That's pretty cool, actually.
You know, why not?
Yeah.
Body included.
Whoa.
Yeah, Helicon is like the OG stacking program for you guys asking. They're asking if you use that versus Photoshop more often.
Yeah, it was way better than Photoshop. There is a cost to it, but it's like a one-time fee, and then you can just be going for it. Honestly, haven't tried Capture One for it yet, though.
Any professional software that is worth paying for. Like I just feel like Capture One is paid itself off in like the first second I've had it. If you're serious about something, and it's weird how people don't put value on software. Like, oh, it's like $300. I'm like, yeah, but you spent like $900 on the lens.
Yeah, that was me for a really long time.
Weird, right?
Now I'm like, okay, I'm past it. But yeah, it is
ones
weird.
And zeros. You can't hold it. Why should I pay for it?
Or just like even it's like for yourself. Like even just like professional development, it's like, oh, that's not worth it. Like going to like courses or doing like different, like paying for like courses online for yourself to learn more.
Very true.
For whatever reason, it's hard to like want to do those things.
It is.
Be better.
If you guys don't know, Capture One has a free certification class online. It's 3 hours long, but you can start and stop whenever you want, but it's free. And you should just do it, because if someone told me they were Capture One certified by Capture One, you are on my set. I will totally take you over someone that says, yeah, I know Capture One.
Really?
Why not? You went through their training. Why not? You know, if you're going to ask me to be an assistant, you tell me you got Capture One training and something goes sideways, you can walk in there and be like,
true.
Why not?
True.
Why not? And a good Digitech.
Classic.
A really good Digitech has a hard drive ready with everything that could go down in your computer to back it back up. They got another copy of Capture One on there. They've got everything.
No,
There,
they're
it's
so
amazing.
they stay ready. There was a job I did recently with a ton of candles, and
Oh, that's cool.
it was cool, but there was so many variations. It was like a headache, and I feel really bad for that Digitech. But he did it, and he did it so well. He was great.
Oh my God. Guys, we're actually at time. Look at that.
Whoa.
Listen, Jillian is here now, but she's also coming back at 5 p.m. today. So
Come
this
hang.
QR code right here,
Ooh.
what Jillian just found out is she's the first live demo to happen on the events channel after we've hit the 100K, thanks to you
Let's
guys.
go.
So I'm counting on her to pull a good one together here. That'll be at 5 o'clock Eastern today. If you're watching this on playback, it'll be on that channel after anyway, unless she burns this place down. I don't know.
Try not to.
Yeah, so it'll be there for you. So make sure you're hitting this QR code and hit subscribe over there and the bell so you get notified, because that channel is always live and she will be live. So if you want to be in this chat and ask questions while she's going at it, you can do that, you know? Make sure you hit follow on all her stuff. And is there anything you want to promote? Anything you want to kick out there?
No.
you're
Go
good.
make work that you were proud of.
She does have a newsletter, by the way. So
I do have a newsletter.
hit that Instagram.
Oh, it's on my
and-
Instagram.
It is on your Instagram.
It is. You
It's on-
found that. That's crazy.
It's on the link. I put it right here.
Where?
It's on your link. The link on your bio is,
Let's go.
look,
Oh, I did put it there. It's on my website too.
the website's
That's-
cool. I know you can drag and drop, but
Yeah, go drag and drop some
go
stuff.
check out all that stuff. We will see you later at 5. If you guys are into this and you're new here, there are 92 other episodes of this podcast. I have a special guest lined up for the 100th episode. You'll find out who it is in like 7 weeks. But go check that out. There's a lot of great guests on here, and Jillian is now added to that roster. So this is our first demo ever at Adorama. So let's make sure you guys make sure she's welcome, and we will see you on the next one. Have a great rest of the week, Jillian.
Thank you
so
guys.
much.
Thank you. This was so fun.
We'll see you later today, guys. Be good.